Hello, my name is Solomon Maz Mugari, but you can call me Mon, you can call me Uncle Mon, and I work as a dance choreographer, and I do dance entrepreneurship, and I'm a dance teacher slash dance student. I work with Watoto Church here at home in Uganda, and I choreograph the Watoto Children's Choirs, the little kids that travel around the world to preach the gospel. And God has given me an opportunity and the privilege to lead the dance ministry here at Watoto Church, to just give oversight and overview and to really give guidance to the other dancers in our church. And yeah, I would love to start by telling my story as far as dance goes, or the dance ministry goes in my life. And I started dancing, let me say with the right words, I started teaching dance when I was 9 years old, and I would teach my friends, I would teach older guys, young guys, how to dance and do all these things. But me personally, I would never step on stage because I don't know of what reasons. Maybe I was shy, or maybe I just never felt comfortable stepping on stage and doing all those great moves or something. But I had great joy in teaching dance to other people, and whenever I would see them on stage, because as their dance teacher, I would always have the opportunity of standing backstage and just see them do their thing on stage. So it would give me great joy about see them moving, dancing, and I'm like, yay, that's my stuff, but I can't do it for myself on stage. So it would give me joy, it would give me joy. But yeah, growing up, I would never really dance on stage or do anything on stage. So I was always like, you know, a behind the scenes guy. I would always want to be in the background. But moving forward, into school, would have parties and other things. Now, people never knew that I could dance. Till this one time when my big brother's friend pulled me on stage, and then I danced because I had no other option but to react to the music. And I danced and I danced and I danced. I remember that evening, everyone that came close to me or in my vicinity, all they had to say was, so you can dance, so you can dance, so you can dance. So it was quite cool, but I would be, you know, like trying to brush it off. I'm like, yes, I can dance, but I won't be doing it for so long. So anyway, fast forward, I'm in my senior four. That was in 2010. I gave my life to Christ officially, because having grown up with a Christian background, we were Christians, but I'd never done the commitment bit by myself. So in 2010, I come to Watoto Church, my home church, and I'm like, yeah, I want to give my life to Christ. So I gave my life to Christ in my Form 4. So moving forward, Form 5, Form 6, I would never dance. I would never dance in schools. Maybe once in a while when the music, you know, hits to the last muscle, and then, you know, you just have to have a reflex. And then before you know it, all your other bones are coordinating, and then your entire body comes alive. So in my Form 6 vacation, that was in 2012, 2013, I remember I was looking for a job. I was looking for a job to do and, you know, put my time onto something. And then I realized that I wasn't really getting the jobs. I would send applications. I would, you know, talk to my big brothers or sisters, like, hey, in case you know of any opening, I like want to work. I don't want to just stay home doing nothing. But everywhere I could send my application, nothing would happen. Like, man, they would never call back, nothing at all. Until my friend told me about the Mom's Bar. And then I'm like, yeah, your Mom's Bar, restaurant, stuff like that. I'm like, okay, it's okay. I think I would want to work there. So when I started working there, I would spend much more transport than what I would initially, what I was supposed to be paid, you get. So I was spending more money, and yet I was getting paid less. But because I wanted something to do in the time, you know, I had to like swallow and then do the work. But this was a bar, I'm a Christian, and I'm like, yo, well, at that time I didn't really know about the principles, the values, the, dignity and all the things and how to keep all that in place. So I didn't mind them. I was young and, well, I needed to make money. Long story short, so I had a friend from school. He knew that I come to church for, Sunday services and what. So he invites me for fellowship. So I come for fellowship and then I meet all these cool kids. I felt out of place. I'm like, yo, are these guys really in senior 6 vacation? I'm like, nah, it's a lie. Because they looked fancy, they looked cool. And then on that same very day, I met the guy who was leading the dance crew in the fellowship. He had a very cool laptop. I'm like, oh my goodness. This guy is, I think he's in like his second year at campus. Well, turned out he was in vacation as well. So I felt at home. And I was like, yeah, I can dance. I would love to try to dance. But I didn't know whether I was really into it or I really wanted that for my life. But I love dance and I was passionate about it. So one day I get to know about an audition that was going to happen here, and then I told my friend about it, and he's like, yes, Mon, you love dance, you should go and try it out, you should go and dance, you should go and audition. It will serve, it will work for you. I know you will do it. So my friend supported me, and he actually made a promise that he will push me to church to audition. So I came to audition. I remember those days we'd use CDs, like compact discs. We'd use CDs, so I carried my CD, I put my song on it. I remember it was Dam Dam by Tedashii and Lecrae, I think, or 116, yeah. So I come with my CD, they put it in a CD player, and then the music starts. Boy, I danced. I danced. I remember I was their highlight for the evening, because I was little, and at that time I wasn't really tall or even had any muscle on me. I was tiny, and I wasn't, a bit short, not so short, but a bit short, not, average height. So yeah, I made the guys so happy. I auditioned, then afterwards they had to tell us whether we had made it or not. But of course, by their excitement, I knew I had made it, because they were really excited, and it's like they hadn't seen whatever I had brought to the table at that time. So after I think a day, they send me a text. They're like, hey, Mon, you've made it through the audition, so you're welcome to be a part of our team. So I joined the team. I got excited. Yeah, life kept on moving. I kept on coming for, rehearsals and all that thing. And I would say my first days were not bad at all. Well, that was just for that. After a while, a few months later, I realized that I had to join campus, I had to do university, and school had to move on, but then I had no job. The finances at home were not that good. I remember my mom at that time was, kind of in an economic recession. It wasn't really working out so well. It was bad. It was really bad. It was some sort of bankruptcy. But I've blessed God, and I remember I had an opportunity, me and my big brother. So my mom worked out something for us. We were supposed to travel and to the UAE. We were supposed to travel there and then work. And after working, of course, I would get a chance to do school. So we chased papers, we chased things, and then amidst all that, I was underage for the guys they wanted, so I couldn't make the cut for, the age limitations as regards to where I was going to get employment. So I had to increase my age on my passport by 2. I know, national fraud. And he's here speaking life to you. I'm sorry, but life happened. Anyway, yes, I had to grow up because I was little, I was so young. But then I needed to make, world ends meet. So yeah, I worked throughout my things. I do my stuff. Eventually, I think the day before traveling, I told my mom, because I had paid for everything. I'd gotten my visa. The air tickets were already bought. So I told my mom that I don't want to travel anymore. I want to stay in Uganda and dance, because I felt like dance was going to be my thing. I felt my calling was in there. I found purpose when I started dancing. And then, yeah, I felt good. I felt happy. Dance made me happy. So I sat down with my mom and I had to tell her that, you know what, I don't think I'll be traveling to go and work and study out there. I think I want to stay in Uganda and then dance. About uni, I know God will make a way. And yeah, God actually did make a way. I remember I stayed in Uganda, and before I knew it, my big brother was like, you know what, Mon, I'm going to pay for your tuition, just look for a university and then get the requirements, whatever you need, I'll sort everything out. And he actually did that for my first year to my third year. And I really performed so well at school. I did. I got a first class in business management and entrepreneurship. And I topped my class that year. It was a class of about 3,000 students. I topped it, and I blessed God for it. And I know all this was possible because I was a part of a dance ministry. Because when I started dancing, my spiritual life also kind of started to get better. I desired to know God more, but not even just more like, you know, hear Him or hear from Him or just hear people talk about Him, but I wanted to know Him. I desired to know Him on a personal level, which I actually got an opportunity to do, and I'm still on that journey of knowing Him, understanding Him, and learning to love Him back, because He's been a good Father. So yeah, at uni, I was able to read my books, and I was able to do my dance ministry, and I remember God really came through in a big way through my school time, and yeah, he made me a head and not a tail. He made me the first and not the last. Because when he secured that first class for me, I was really happy. Imagine what would have been said if I'd flunked my school and then I was always at church dancing. People would have been like, yeah, he's always dancing, he's always dancing. But God did it for me. He gave me an opportunity to be good at my dancing and also be good in my books. So I really thank God for that. And dance as a ministry, sometimes it's despised. Sometimes people get to, you know, be exasperating because they say, you know, dance is just dance. It's not very spiritual. It's not really some kind of worship thing. So they kind of undermine it. But personally, I've seen God move through dance. I've seen God move through dance. And I know that where God is, there's fullness of joy. Because when we are joyful, then that thing for you to just dance out, it comes, you know, inevitably. It just comes. You start dancing, you feel happy. Then when you listen to a song, your body starts to move. You're like, yes, this is life. And I know some people despise it. I've been to churches where they don't really tolerate it at all. But I've seen dance as a ministry and what it can do. Personally, I've experienced God through dance as regards to my mom's health. I remember there's a time when she had gone to a hospital and then she had to do blood tests and all that stuff. And then the doctor had told her that she could be a TB patient. And then that got me so worried and scared. I was so worried, I was so scared. And I remember we were preparing for a performance, me and some friend of mine, it's called Amy. And we talked about the things. He told me what he was going through at that time. And the mom was also, you know, not so well health-wise. I told him about my mom. So we spoke, we believed in God. We told God that, you know what, we want you to come through in this way. We want healing for our moms. I remember that night when we danced, there was a move we were supposed to do and we were supposed to spin in air. You know, like a barrel jump of some sort, but without the feet touching on the floor. And I remember when I did that thing, I slipped on the stage and kind of fell. But of course, you know, the falling of, I'm still a dancer, so I fell with my hands on the floor. And people didn't really get it. If you're a dancer, you could have gotten it. That thing could have been an embarrassing moment for me. But when I fell, I knew that whatever burden I was holding up there had actually fallen down when I fell down. And after the performance, I remember my mom calling me and giving me this big testimony that after the tests had been run and the checkups had been taken, she was found not to have TB, and that gave me joy. And it made me realize that when we actually speak to God through dance and we give Him our all and our best, He can actually do anything for us. The same way someone would sing, the same way a pastor would preach, I believe it's the same power that dance holds. We can do this through dance. So dance as a ministry is it's a big tool. It's a big tool in church because not everyone would love to sing, not everyone would love to act, not everyone can be a musician, all these other things, AVL team, like everyone can be gifted in all those other things, but then there's also still dance. And we see that dance is also spiritual. We've seen dance being used for healing. Like in those days, the early days of man, we saw that when someone was sick and they were not feeling fine, the community would come around and dance and, celebrate his health. And then before you know it, the guy would feel alive. Now imagine when we're putting God through dance, and then our expectations are healing, our expectations are motivation, our expectations are inspiration, motivation, encouragement, and all these things. And I know that God does things through dance. I know it. I remember there's a time, me and my team, well, at that time, I was not with the team because I was having a performance somewhere else with another guy from my team. So our team was split into two. Some guys had gone somewhere else, were also somewhere else. But while they had gone, there was this guy who had a heart issue. He had a heart issue and he wasn't feeling fine, he wasn't doing well. But before they went on stage, they believed that may healing move through this performance that they had. And when they got done with their dancing, this guy randomly came and told them, I had a heart problem, but after seeing you guys dance, I felt fine. And I feel fine right now. It was not just a feeling, it was actually a manifestation of healing. Healing had happened to the guy. And when I hear such things, and then I hear of other people who despise dance, calling it all sorts of things and not something that can be used as a ministry or as a tool of worship, I kind of feel hurt. But then I'm like, well, you don't know what you're talking about because I've seen it, I've experienced it, and I know what it can do. So dance as a ministry, it has power. God has put power in it. And I know that the power that is in us is not just us, because God has blessed us with the Holy Spirit. He has given us the Holy Spirit to help us make sure that when we are communicating, we're not just communicating with our bodies, but our spirits are communicating with the people that will be watching us, because spirits communicate with spirits. So when we are dancing, when we are worshiping in spirit and in truth. And that's what dance is all about. It's the same thing as you singing a hymn or singing a praise song or singing a worship song, or a pastor actually getting a mic and he starts reading the word. Because what happens with the dance is that we put the word into movement and then we serve it to the people. So my encouragement to everyone that dances, everyone that is a mover, everyone that maybe is wondering whether dance is it for him or her, let me tell you, dance is something major, and God has put it on earth for a reason. The same way the Bible tells us that, behold, I do a new thing. He's making a way in the wilderness. Like, dance is the new thing. Those days, dance was, just for the world, parties and all those things. But we've had to embrace dance. And now we're using it as a ministry. We're using it as a tool of worship. And man, that's good enough. So I just want to cheer, man, and share my joy and happiness as regards to dance ministry. I've seen it work here at my church. I've seen it work in people's lives. We have friends that come to Uganda to just share with us their experiences. And when they tell us of their stories and we tell them of our stories, man, we all live encouraged. And that's because of dance. So I'm praying to God that He'll keep revealing Himself true to you as a dance worshiper, as a dance minister, that whatever you do in dance will have a blessing on it, that your movement will just be more than just the physical body moving, but it will be a spiritual interpretation of what God has done for you, in you and through you, that whoever will watch you dance will feel blessed, and they'll be happy, and they'll feel inspired to go back to the Father, because our main purpose here is to glorify our Father, our Maker, our Creator. And may you be blessed. May you continue dancing. Even when one door locks up and closes, may you get up on the next day and keep worshiping. God bless you.